Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. I have a great video here for you guys today. I am talking about the Queen palette with Fumi and Juvia's Place, okay? So, I kind of hate that I have to go here, but I'm going to go here because I probably haven't expressed a lot of opinions on my channel. I think you've gotten most of my opinions when I'm doing my Will I Buy It's, but I've only done like 2 Will I Buy It's. But I'm just going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room and then talk about how I feel and then just kind of the outlook on certain other issues, if that makes sense. So I have been watching Fumi since I started YouTube. I absolutely love and adore her. Her personality is infectious. It is just so positive. It is like a ray of sunshine. You can just feel her spirit through the camera. And I've been watching YouTube probably about 4 or 5 years, and I just started YouTube. It'll be a year actually in about September. The time goes by so fast. But Fumi is just such a great person. So literally I was just super excited for her to have this collaboration. This is her first collaboration and it's with Juvia's Place. And it makes sense because if you watch Fumi, Fumi loves Juvia's Place. And it's like you see the ecstatic feelings that she has for the palettes when they come out. When she does basic tutorials, not like basic, but when she's just doing a tutorial and she's showing palettes and going in with colors, like she's hit pan on multiple of the colors. She loves it because she is a woman who is of deeper skin complexion and she feels like the colors just perform so well on her. But she's overall a positive person. So overall, I was just so happy for her. But I just hate that this collab has somewhat of a cast on it, like a gray cast, because of what the brand owner partook in just a few weeks ago. So if you don't know, Juvia's Place, they posted a video of Jeffree Star a few weeks ago on their Instagram page. Now, Jeffree Star went out and purchased the foundation with his own money and reviewed it like he does many reviews on his channel. And Chi, the owner, or somebody from their social media team put the video on the Juvia's Place Instagram account, praising him and thanking him for him reviewing the foundation and basically opening that company up to a wide variety of people or a new customer base that they hadn't had before. But of course, there was backlash because a lot of African American people or people of color felt like this was inappropriate because of the history that Jeffree Star has. I don't fool with Jeffree Star. I don't like his contact. You're not going to throw battery acid on me. You're not going to say that about a black woman and think it's going to be okay. He said that about Makeup Shayla. I know he has apologized, but I'm just like, he's not my cup of tea, which is unfortunate because if you take everything out of that with his bad history and his character, he's a really talented individual. They say his makeup brand does well and is of quality. And I don't look at anybody really funny if you want to support his products, but it's just his products leave a bad taste in my mouth. He leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and it is what it is. I know he's apologized. Everybody can have a second chance, but I just choose not to support him, and that's just how I feel about it. If you want to go and support, I can't tell you what to do, okay? That's your money, your personal feelings. So when it comes to Fumi and then the Juvia's Place, it's just you know what? Chi had some interchanges with some other really popular African-American influencers here on YouTube, and it was bad. Let's just keep it on. It was bad. And you know what? Everybody wants to defend themselves, but when you're the face of a brand, sometimes you just need to STFU. And you know what that means? Shut the beep up, okay? It's not necessary. If you're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you can't go on a Twitter rant with your customers. So what makes you think that you could do that as a makeup brand? You cannot do that. That's not appropriate. It's not appropriate in any setting of business. And so that's why I say I just hate that there's a cast on it, because anytime there's a post on Trim Mood, I always read the comments. It doesn't matter what it is. I read the comments, and I just like to read the comments to just see what the post is regarding the makeup item that's being presented on that Instagram page. And so when I saw that Fumi was coming out with a collab, I was like, oh my God, yes, I'm so happy for her. Yes, I want this because I love Fumi. And I was like, I think the colors that she picked are true to her. But then I read the comments and people were like, nice try. She's canceled. Nice try, Juvia's Place. Still not buying. Y'all trying to pull this up out of left field so, you know, we can buy the brand. And I get it, but then at the same time, it's like, come on, they're an indie brand. She had been working on this for so long. And I just kind of also take myself in another set of shoes. It's like a lot of influencers, if they finally, or just not even if you're an influencer, just put yourself in some shoes. Put yourself in this particular category. If you wanted something so bad and that you were working on it and you finally got your chance to work on it, but then the brand or the company or whoever it is that opportunity is with does something crazy like that, it's just like, well, dag, you just kind of shot me in the foot before I even got out the gate because I have this tarnish on me because of your actions. And it has nothing to do with me. Now, nobody's blaming Fumi. Nobody's blaming Fumi. I just want to put that out there clear. But it's just sad. It's like she's worked on this collab and now she has this like cast over her collab because the brand owner couldn't shut up. Now, personally, I hadn't figured out if I was going to cancel Juvia's Place. I probably was not going to cancel Juvia's Place, but Juvia's Place was on a rest. But I bought this because I really wanted to support Fumi and I really like Fumi. And I was like, yes, I'm here for this. So, but I mean, because honestly, if we want to start canceling people, it's a lot of brands that we probably purchase at Sephora and we purchase at Ulta and Target and Walgreens or CVS or Eckerd's not, why did I pull out Eckerd's? That's not even around. Write it, wherever, Dwayne Reed, wherever you shop for your cosmetics. They could be canceled, but we don't know what they say behind closed doors. They don't go spill all their business on social media. So, I just wanted to like get that out in the open and just let you know my true feelings. I don't feel like what they did was right. I'm not in those positions of those black influencers. I see what's going on and their points are very valid. But when I've always talked about Juvia's Place, even with my friends, and I was just like, oh, their customer service is, no, it's not good. But I've never had a problem. That's why I've always kept shopping with them. I've never had an issue. I've never had a bad interchange. Nothing has come to my house broken. But I wasn't an influencer back then. Or I don't even consider myself an influencer. I wasn't on YouTube back then. I've always loved their products. Happy when the brand came to Ulta because I want to see brands like that thrive. But I'm like, you cannot tear us down to make yourself better in order to get there. It doesn't work like that. But I've always wanted to see them thrive. And I was just telling people like, you should try them. Like, I think like part of it, I was like, I always felt like they grew a little bit too fast than they were ready for. You know, people got a hold of their stuff and it was good. The price point was great. I actually found out about Juvia's Place from the Shade Room, which is a popular Instagram page on, well, it's a popular Instagram page. You don't need to say on Instagram. It's a popular Instagram page. And they had a palette and it was actually the Nubian 1. And I think the Nubian 2 was out at that time. And it was like, check out this brand, Juvia's Place. And I was watching YouTube, but I hadn't heard of anybody. I hadn't watched any videos on Juvia's Place at that point. And they were a brand new brand. So I checked out the brand. And I was like, yo, this Nubian palette is dope. Like, I like this. $20? I could do with this. And it's black owned. So that's how I got introduced to Juvia's Place. And then I just kept following the brand since then. And then some things have been very troubling. But it's just like, I just try to keep giving you guys a chance. Give you guys a chance. Because obviously there's some other brands out there that do not deserve our loyalty when we think about it. I mean, Rich Lives Matter. That was messed up. And it's just, the list goes on and on and on. So at the end of the day, I want to talk about the makeup from going forward. Congratulations, Fumi. Okay, so like I said, I've been watching Fumi forever. I got my queen earrings on. I actually bought these earrings at the African American Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. If you have not been there, oh my God, you need to go. It's beautiful. It's the best experience ever, okay? So, but I did buy these earrings from the bookstore and then a book about the museum from there. So I went to London in 2017 with my mom, and I was just like, man, if I run into Fumi de Saluvo there, and I wasn't on YouTube there, I was just a fan. I was like, man, I wish I could just run into her. Like, I would just imagine if I ran into her and, like, you know, she's so fabulous. I was like, if I just ran into her at Harrods or suffrages, like, I would just pass out, like, whoo, just take it. I'm done. She's so fabulous, and shouts out to her. So we're going to talk about the palette. I did pick up the lip glosses. When I went, I don't know, this launch was weird, maybe because everything was going on, but it did not tell what time the launch was going to happen. So I checked, the palette was there. Then the lip glosses were not there. But I wanted the lip glosses. So I bought the palette, and then I actually doubled back and got the lip glosses. So the palette released July 31st, and the palette, this is the Queen palette. This is Fumi times Juvia's Place. It is a 6-pan palette, and it retails for $15. I think the artwork is fabulous, and it has a special meaning because if you watch Fumi's video, her husband is her photographer. Fumi is a model. She has been on the show Ugly Betty. Remember, that show was super popular back in the day, and she's done other works in TV and film, and she is just a gorgeous woman, okay? And so her husband actually does all of her videography work. He helps her film her YouTube videos. He's in technology. He understood, like, Fumi, like, you need to do this. YouTube is the next big thing, okay? So he was so right when he said that to her. So she got a chance to create this palette with Juvia's Place. And like I said, it only makes sense because she loves Juvia's Place. I mean, she loves them. And I think, like, even if she didn't have a relationship with the brand, it's an honest love, okay? So the picture right here, as you know, Juvia's Place is very much known for their African artwork and women and being empowered on their covers. And this is the photo that her husband Ula actually took of her. And so she was just so over the moon that Ula took this picture of her, and they were able to transform it into this beautiful cover. So I do love it. The palette is white, and then she just pops on here. In red, we have the Queen palette, Fumi times Juvia. In the back, we have the information about the palette, the address of the company. This palette is actually a multifunctional palette, and it says it on the back. It might be a little hard to read. Let me bring it a little closer. It's a multifunctional palette. So she is intended to be a blush palette. She is intended to be an eyeshadow palette and a highlighter palette. And if you know Fumi and you watch her videos, she definitely makes everything work for her, okay? And what she also talks about as being a dark-skinned woman of color and being in the modeling industry in a time back in the 90s, early 2000s where there weren't complexion products or a lot of makeup products for her skin color. So she had to, like, create her own stuff. So that's why it was just like, she loves Juvia's Place so much, because when this brand came on the scene, she was like, these colors actually work for me. So when you open up the palette, you have her image again, and it has like the Queen of Hearts symbol. So I'm going to admit, when I saw the promo of this, I was just like, the little red part, I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling that. But now that I see it in person, I do like it. And then you have the double image of her. And these are the 6 gorgeous colors. If you watch Fumi, you know Fumi loves the color red. She is a red eyeshadow queen. You think I love red? I love a good shimmery red. I'm not so much about. She loves all the shades of red, and it makes sense. It actually really pops very nicely on her complexion. So this palette is 6 shades. She kept it in mind that if she did a highlighter, she did it for our darker skinned sisters, and then she did another highlight for our lighter complected sisters, okay? And then you have these other 4 shades in there. So we're gonna go ahead and swatch these shades, and then we're gonna do a look, of course, because you know I'm gonna give you a look, and we'll talk about our thoughts about the palette on the other side of the video. Okay, so the first shade in the palette is Adrian. Adrian is a beautiful, oh, that purple is actually really nice. Okay, so Adrian, if you do not know, Fumi is 49, 50 years old, okay? Somewhere in there. And she just had a beautiful baby boy, and his name is Adrian. So the first shade in the palette is Adrian, and it is purple. And it's another color that Fumi loves because purple represents royalty, and she always considers herself to be royal and a queen and somebody who carries herself with dignity. The next shade is this red shade, and it's called Ula, and that is her husband's name. I love the way she says, she's like, Ula, Ula. And red is a shade, like I just said, Fumi loves red, and it's the color of love, and she loves Ula. And then the next shade is Glam, and this color had me like to die for, because if you know me, I love a good coppery red. This is coppery red, and Fumi is about the glam, honey. Fumi is like, look, honey, my name is Fumi de Salud. I am going to wear my Diane von Furstenberg wrap dresses. When she does her blog, she's like, this is my Louis Vuitton luggage. I am going traveling. She has traveling vlogs about how she travels in first class and how she preps herself. The lady is fabulous, okay? She is fabulous, and nobody can take that away from her. And so glam, because honey, she is about the glam. That shade is smooth, okay? Okay, so the next shade we have in the palette is FDV approved. And baby, this color is beautiful and can be doubled as a highlighter for women of lighter complexions. Now, FDV approved, this name is so fitting. Her initials are FDV, Fumi de Salud. And at the end of her videos, she always asks her husband, Ula, is it FDV approved? And he responds back, and she said, yes, it is FDV approved. Yes, yes, yes. Which I think is super cute because it always reminds me of FDA approved, but her initials are FDV, so it's super cute, okay? Then the next shade is Sister to Sister. She does these episodes more like where she sits down and talks. I'm gonna swatch that again. This is a nice peachy shade, where she talks about different things, different issues that's going on maybe in the beauty community or just out there in the society, and she calls it Sister to Sister, and it's really about empowering women to do better, treat ourselves better. It's a lot of different issues. So super fitting because that is a popular series on her channel. And then the last color is called 7 because she said 7 is her favorite color, favorite number. What did I say color? Favorite number. Oh, this hot pink is good. These shadows actually feel very nice, and they're not, the formula seems really more approved. The shimmers, Juvia's Place has always had great shimmers, but if we compare shimmers from maybe like the Masquerade palette, for instance, those shimmers have high payoff, but they're very tightly packed. So you do kind of have to use the right brush to kind of pick it up. But these, they're very thick in body. I don't know how to say it. They're not as tightly packed, but they're very creamy. There we go, creamy. So these are the shades of the palettes. And I wish I had the lip glosses here. Now she has 2 lip glosses that came with the collection. There's Fumi, and Fumi I believe is the light one, and then she has Royalty, which is the dark berry one, and I can't wait to receive those glosses. Now, I ordered my palette the day it launched on July 31st, and to my surprise, the palette shipped out the same day. I was like, oh, okay, look at Juvia's Place getting themselves together, getting their act together. Because, like let's face it, it's been a lot of controversy. So we need this to go off without a hitch. So I'm going to pull you in closer, and we're going to go ahead and do a look I can't wait to play with it. Okay, so my eyebrows are filled in. I'm using my Benefit Goof Proof Brow in the shade 3.75, and I finally got my eyebrows done. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. If you're in Chicago, go see Brows by Jerry. You can find her on Style Seat. She does an excellent job, and she also does tinting. So I am going to go in today with the primer from Makeup Revolution. I'm going in with this concealer, and this is in the shade C3. It is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer, and I'm going to use this as my primer. I just want to really have these shades pop. Now with my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, I'm just going to blend the primer out. Okay, primer is blended out. I'm going in with my Wayne Goss number 16 brush. I absolutely love this brush. It is super cute. I am going to go in with the shade Sister to Sister. I think I'm doing a look kind of inspired by some of the promo pictures that she had. I was like, ooh, that look is cute. And I'm just going to throw this into transition. Oh, it's okay. This is a nice peach shade. I think it's going to complement those colors nicely because, to be honest, like, I don't know, like, I don't dislike 6-pan palettes, but I feel like 9-pan palettes are more of my jam than a 6-pan palette. And sometimes some 6-pan palettes just feel really incohesive to me. Oh, the shade picks up very nicely. I'm just going to keep building it up. I'm liking this as my primer because a lot of times, as you guys know, I use that Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Caffeine, and I love it so because it's like perfect match with my skin color, but sometimes it doesn't always show the full potential of a shade. And yeah, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm here for that. That is pretty. Yeah, that's pretty. Okay, so I just brought that in. It's from the inner to the outer, my transition area. Just gonna keep building it up because I'm just having fun here. I'm like, ooh, 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 pretty. And then softening up the edges right in there so it just kind of blends seamlessly into my brow bone. I'm going to take the pink shade right here. That is the shade 7. And I'm going to deepen the crease with that. Ooh, it's super pigmented, so I'm going to knock off any excess, and I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, and I'm going to try not to take it up too high because you know I will go up there sometimes. And I'm just going to throw this actually in the crease. And I'm just going to kind of wing it out. And I'm taking this over, but I'm also kind of taking it up too, if that makes sense. This shade actually shows up, oh, really nicely. Okay, this is a really good pink actually. I think a lot of times I find Juvia's Place mattes to be pigmented, but pretty thin at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you use Juvia's Place, I'm like, they're pigmented, but thin. I don't get it, but this pink is really nice. I'm finding a lot of pigment from there. Like, I don't know if they've switched up the formula some, but it is really nice, this pink. I'm having no issues blending that out. And I'm just kind of taking that out a little bit on the angle too. I'm going to go back in with that first brush because you know me, I've taken stuff too far. And I just want to go ahead, add back in Sister to Sister. So I feel like I have kind of lost it. And this is the Wayne number 16. Yeah, there we go. Now, taking a Wayne number 19 brush, I am going to go in the shade with, I'm going in with Oola. Ula is the red shade. Let's see how this works. I'm going to tap off the excess. And I'm going to put that in the crease, like right down from that shade 7. Oh, this is pretty. The red is actually picking up very nicely. Has Juvia's Place done a red shadow? Yes, they have. And the not Tri palette, what am I thinking about? Festival palette. Okay, but you know what? These mattes are a lot better. Like, these mattes, they have stepped their game up, okay? Yeah, that red is nice. I'm gonna bring that out. I'm glad I picked up a skinny brush, because you know me, I'll cover some stuff up. And it layers nice over that pink, and you can still tell that there are 2 different colors. I'm just gonna pick up just a tiny bit more. That red and that pink is really good. It's nice. I didn't have any trouble. Red and pink, man, that could be a hard shade to formulate. I'm gonna take the shade Adrian, this is the purple, and I'm gonna pick it up on a Sonia G Worker Pro brush. This is like one of my favorite brushes. I'm going to tap it off. This is one of my favorite brushes to stamp colors. Okay, I don't know what they did, but they have improved, because the purple in that Zulu palette is trash. I mean, just to be honest. And it is like layering over that red. That is pretty. Feeling like a little tropical paradise over here or something. That is pretty. Okay, now going back in with that Wayne number 17 brush, I'm just gonna kind of fuse my blending right there. I'm going to pick up a little bit of Ula. That's the red shade. There. And then going back in with that Wayne Goss number 17. Going back with a little bit more of 7 on that outer corner. Just where we might have lost a little from blending. But I feel like we are definitely getting some type of gradient here. Okay, so I have decided to do somewhat of a little bit of a cut crease. Probably because Fumi always does a cut crease. I don't think I need to with these next round of 2 shades, but I'm just taking that concealer I used earlier, carving out my lid with a number 18 Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer brush. And let's see. Just gonna draw my line. Okay, so I have cut the crease. I am going to go back with that Wayne Goss, no, sorry, this is Sonia G Worker Pro. Going back in with the shade Adrian, that purple shade. I'm just gonna kind of pick up a little bit right there, stamp it in, where we might have lost some of that shade from doing the cut crease. Now taking my little favorite Tarte brush that I use for shimmers, I am going in with the shade Glam, that beautiful coppery red shade. Ooh, that shade is fire, baby. Okay, I got a tiny bit of fallout, only because, you know, it's just like one of those full kind of creamy shimmers, and sometimes if you just pick up a tiny bit too much, you will get some fallout. And clean that brush off in my little towel. Now going in with the shade FBV Approved. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm just gonna take my makeup wipe with I have the same one from when I did my swatches. Just gonna kind of clean up underneath my eye and make that line sharp. There we go. Then going back in with my number 16, where we had that first shade. I didn't pick up any additional shadow. That was the shade Sister to Sister. I'm just kind of making sure that blending is fused out. I am going to pick up a little bit more. I always feel like I lose my first shade that I put down. Here we go. There. This is such a nice blend out shade for that color. Okay, now the purple is pretty nice, but I don't feel like it necessarily laid down right in there. I'm gonna try to pick up a little bit more. Yeah, I think it's just blending in. There we go. It's just, there we go. Okay, I am back. I finished the other eye. I did my foundation and concealer wearing the Pat McGrath foundation with a little Fenty Beauty concealer, a little bronzer from Fenty, but I don't know if it really matters because it has such a tan. And then I added some gloss from Pat McGrath. Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay, so I added this Lust gloss, and this is the shade Divine Rose Lust. Yeah. So, I will have all my makeup details down below, but I am loving this. Okay, so since the palette is multifunctional, let's go ahead and get these cheeks together. I am just going to take my blush brush. This is just like it was a Christian Siriano. It was a gift from some coworkers, and these brushes are not bad, actually. They kind of break. I mean, well, they split it. Okay, let me not stick my hand in the palette. They can kind of split in half, but other than that, like, this is great for highlighting in cheek. That's good. So, I don't want to go too crazy because I feel like this could get out of hand very quickly. Let's see. I'm going to take a dab of 7 and then mix it with Sister Sister. So, let me go into Sister Sister first, so I don't mess it up by going into 7. Tap it off. There we go. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh. That is pretty. It doesn't come off blotchy or anything, and it gives me just the right amount of color. I can get like very red throughout the day, like meaning like my natural colors I can look for. My skin can turn red throughout the day. Not like rosacea, but you know, just so sometimes I don't want to do too much blush because then I'm just looking like red. So that is pretty. Ooh, I'm loving how I'm looking at this point. Okay, so now going in with FDB approved, and I might mix it with a little bit of glam. We shall see. Okay, going in with another one of those Christian Siriano brushes, tapping it off. Ooh, that's pretty too. Okay, and I'm going to just take a tiny bit of glam. Just a tiny bit because I don't want to cast. Oh, that, yep, those together. And I kind of mixed it in with the blush. Yeah, boy. Okay. This is the final look. I'm going to pull out and we're going to talk about the product. Okay, I am back. This is the final look put together.